Junkboxx.
So this is the second time in the Hamilton Film Festival.
Yeah, it's actually the third.
What was your first?
It was a student piece. It was almost an experimental piece back in '04.
What was the name of it?
I think it was called January. I did it with some classmates at McMaster.
Oh, good. I'll have to look into the archive. I didn't realize you were a third-time alumni here. All right, so Junkboxx, you created it as part of a project for a school, or was this a personal project?
It was a personal project, but it's also to test the pipeline because I teach at university, so I teach the technology department, and so it's really just an experiment to see, what kind of technology the university had and what kind of things based on the curriculum that I was teaching could be used to make a production piece. So that's what it was intended for.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even intended for something that you were going to use to put to festivals or exhibit. It was more of a...
Well, originally it was an experimental piece, just to test some things. And then after a while, I just realized I don't like experimental work so much. If I'm going to do something, I might as well make it narrative based. So I ended up repackaging it in a way that could be a cohesive story. Yeah. And so I wanted to talk about technology and energy use and how people, when things get rough, what do people do? And so it's almost like a metaphor for that. And those characters can have this life, even though they're just mascots in an amusement park. So, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Peter?
How many people were involved in making this? You said
On author is about seven people working on it.
what software did you use? Is it something?
We use Autodesk Maya.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the course of 3 years, that's how long it took to make.
So how did you collaborate? You must have had a lot of files that you could.
Yeah, that was one of the
manage, right?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the challenges. I started using a lot of cloud storage, so a lot of files were getting thrown, from each computer. A lot of my students were working from home, so with their home rigs and then the school rigs, and then my own rig, getting all these files back and forth was definitely one of the challenges. So, that's all part of the back end stuff. The technology versus the narrative and the creative process. So.
That would almost be a documentary on its own, just a process. Your process of you getting that movie made, right? Technology. Had technology changed from when you first started to when you finished? And
that's right.
And did it make it better or worse, or did you have to shift something, or did you lose something in the process? Or?
It's always hit and miss, because it was mine in 2008, and by the time the film was done, it was 2011. So the software becomes more stable over 3 years, but then there's always a chance that certain features get removed. So that was definitely one of the things that was a challenge. So I told my guys that if you're going to install new software, someone wanted to use 2000, all these different versions, so then it's not backwards compatible. So there's little things like that can happen, while you're doing things, and then you lose files too. So yeah.
Did you document any of the behind the scenes stuff, or is it just something that's goes in your head?
No, a lot of that stuff is documented.
Because it's through a school, right? So
even the first cuts, and I even documented the chat. The original story was actually through a chat between me and my friend in China, and we were kind of going back and forth because he was a writer, so that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, So all that stuff is documented and saved. So,
well, if you put it into a documentary format, please send it our way for HFF 13.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We got a question. Yeah.
I'm just wondering about the process of creating characters. Did you have an idea of what you wanted them to look like? Did you sketch them, or did they just happen individually, working with the tools?
Yeah, the easiest way is to sketch them out and to have some sort of idea. So that B character was originally just a portable speaker system that flies. The main character is just an obese Junkboxx. That was the intention behind that. And so each of the characters were actually hand drawn. 2008 was when the Olympics were on, and so there was the paraplegic. I don't know if you noticed, he was basically had a afro head, and that was the inspiration behind that. But everything's all hand drawn. The koala character is just something I like koalas with big ears, so I said, I started drawing it that way. So, yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you so much.